In this lecture, we'll talk about the very important concept of React.js, which is named components. So we use components for reusability. If we talk about traditional coding or simple HTML, and we made a website which has 4 different pages, and then we want different headers on each page, then we'll have to make headers separately for each page. You know, like the traditional way of writing some code with HTML. But with React, it's much easier. It's much simpler for us. This concept of component is very helpful to make things easy for us. So component basically allows us to write a code in one place and then use that single code in different functions or places. So, with an example, let's understand how it works. Looking at this render function, for example, taking a simple h1 and writing welcome to our site, and then we save it. Now we'll display it. So as you can see, it's been displayed. Now we'll try to make a component. So we'll make a file in the folder whose name will be JSX, because React will get to know that JSX has been used here. That's why the extension should be JSX. Otherwise, you can set the extension as JS. Okay, so now this file is being prepared, and now we'll have to convert this file into a component. So this is done using a function. We'll import React in it, because you have to import React everywhere, like React is used. Like you have to import it wherever you want to use it. That's why we're doing that's why we're importing React. Okay, so you can use JSX in React. Now we'll make a function, as I told you, and that function is necessary for the component. So we'll name it header. Our function is created, so we'll have to return a value. Okay, so we'll return the value h1, and we will put the content, welcome to our site. Now that our function has been created, we will find out how to reuse it in different pages. So to do that, we'll export this function. We'll write export and then default. Okay, so we wrote default so that I'm exporting a single function. If there were more than one function and we had to export them, then we would have written the names of the various functions in curly braces instead of using default. But right now, we have one function, and that's why we're using default to export the function. Okay, so recall that React works in hierarchy. So first there is a parent, and then it has a children. So first we have the parent, then we have the children, and it's up to you, to determine the number of children that you want. So right now we are still in the initial level, so we'll see the basic things. And when the task will get a little bit more complicated, then we'll get to know its importance. So here, our component has been formed and exported, so we'll reuse the component easily. Okay, so we'll save it, and we'll move our index.js file. Now we want to use our component header.jsx here. So as you've exported it, so we'll have to import it as well. Without importing it, you won't be able to use it. Okay, so we'll write header, and we're importing it from header.jsx component. Now our component is imported. You can put header.jsx with it, but React is powerful enough to judge what is importing, so the extension is not necessarily doing so. Okay, so we got the component and the function. Now we can use the content of the function here. So we'll try to use this one. We try to display this component here. It will go there and display the content. Now I'm saving it and I'm going to the browser to check. And as you can see, it's been displayed in front of us. So if we change the content to welcome to our site, and as you can see, it's being read. It read it very well. So it read it as well. Okay. We can use it in different functions and components as well. So let me show you how it works. We'll write it multiple times, and as you can see, everything was displayed, like it displayed all of them. So we don't have to write the code again and again. we'll write the code once, we will export it, and we'll import it whenever we need it to be used. That's how simple it is. So it was, it was a basic level of how all of this works. But when we move on to the next lectures, we will, like, little by little explore some more advanced topics. And you'll get to know, like, the importance of the component and how it works in React.js. Okay, so that was the basic concept behind components. And now on to the next lecture.